and welcome to Waadaplaya Concussion Sub. Finally, India's World Cup campaign kicked off at the Chepauk, and this time there was no yellow love. It was all blue army, and India did a fitting start to give a thumping क्या बोल रहे हैं मैं? Thumping defeat to Australia, and they won by 6 wickets. I have Revati from London, Vishak, Anil, and Adi from India to discuss the proceedings that happened, and it was a very good start for India. So let's start with Adi, who was at the Chepauk. Pretty much the view he has at the background, excellent view. And how was the experience, Adi? First of all,
No, for first time for me at Chepauk. I haven't watched a match at Chepauk before, so couldn't have asked for something better. Like obviously India won, and also the experience was pretty good. I would say amongst the best in Indian stadiums. I've been to quite a few. So getting into, I was in the KMK terrace stand. Getting in, there was just a 5 minute line. Like I would have so this is above the hospitality boxes. So probably they're giving good treatment for all these people. In the other stands, I could see people waiting for 1+ hour in line. So that was obviously not a great experience, and that's why when the match started, also there were a lot of empty seats on the left and right. Right, like those are the stands where there was a big queue. There was free drinking water. The bathrooms were clean. Lot of food options. So yeah, can't complain. Like I've seen much worse, is what I'd say in Indian stadiums, right? And and also you could walk around. This was a newly built stand. This stand was finished, like I think earlier this year, opened for the IPL.
yeah.
So everything is brand new. So seats are also pretty spacious. No, no dirt or crochet on any of the seats as well. So all good. And coming to the match was also where it was pretty hot and humid when it started, right? Like especially very humid. You could get like, you know, sweaty within like a couple of minutes. But having said that, really enjoyable experience. The crowd picked up after 25-30 overs, not a single empty seat. There were a few empty seats on TV because there are a lot of pillars. So you feel it is empty, but the people were sitting on the stairs or like loitering around other places. So there are a lot of pillars because of which people can't sit behind the pillar. But apart from that, great experience. Looking forward to more matches. Crowd really enjoyed a lot. It was a sea of blue. There was some sprinkling of yellow shirts, maybe some CSK faithfuls, but yeah, all good apart from that.
Excellent, excellent. So coming to the match, India opted. Oh, sorry, Australia won the toss, opted to bat first, got 199. Jadeja picked up 3 wickets. The most crucial wickets were picked up by Kuldeep Yadav. Bumrah picked up two. Pretty much everyone did a great job and restricted Australia. And while chasing, we had a big scare, 4 for 3. But luckily, we had Tim Kohli and KL Rahul to the rescue and finishing the job in 42 overs. Revati, how did you see the match panning out today? Did you feel India will not make it to the score when they were 4 for 3?
So actually, I thought it was a pretty good start for Team India. The spinners, specifically, especially our spinners, they did a fantastic job. They restricted. I mean, the bowlers they restricted Australia to 200. 199, which I think is a very low score for a field like Chepauk, which I think you can go up to 250, 275 there. But 199 was a very low score. So I thought maybe it will be an easy game for our batters. But the first couple of wickets that we lost, the 3 wickets, and that I think the two batters, Rohit Sharma and sorry,
Ishan,
no,
yes,
no, no, Rohit Sharma and Shreyas. I think that was a very loose shot. I think they could have avoided that because the batters they try to play away from the body, and that I think that the catch of Shreyas Iyer was straight into the hands of Warner. So I think he could have avoided playing that shot because we didn't have a very high score to chase. So I think with this is just my personal opinion. I think when the ball is new, it swings a lot. So the batting team has to take some time, at least 5 to 10 overs, because as the ball gets older, it swings less. So you have to give it the first 5 to 10 overs, play it slow, take it slowly, so that once you get used to it, you can then start hitting and then start scoring runs. So I think that is one thing maybe they could have opted, the opening batsman. But I think that is where I think they didn't calculate that well, and that is how we lost the 3 wickets in the first few overs. But I think, having said that, KL Rahul and Virat Kohli's partnership, that is, I think, one of the most mature partnerships I've seen in a very long time. They understood that there's a lot of pressure on them. So when they came, you could actually see that, they had that sort of a discussion when KL Rahul walked onto the field. I think they must have had this plan. Okay, we'll play slowly, we'll try and get 1 or 2 runs, and then try and understand how the ball is swinging, and then maybe take it a couple of overs and then start maybe scoring runs. So I think that panned out really well for them, and I think that is one of the things that also led to us winning the match. I think another thing what also costed Australia the match was dropping Virat Kohli's catch. That was a very easy catch, and then Mitch Marsh dropping that catch I think that was a turning point in the game.
Absolutely, Vishak. When that ball went up, it reminded me of the semi-final in 2015. Sort of similar shot, and Virat Kohli getting out. I thought if that wicket had gone, I would have been probably close because KL Rahul looked at good touch, but I think it would have truly tested our middle order.
I think it would have been tough because Hardik Pandya coming in at 20 for 4, like he has hardly played in such situations. Maybe the one match in the Asia Cup along with Ishan Kishan where he got us out of trouble. That too, we were not 20 for 4, around 60 for 4 something. But 20 for 4 in the power play to come in and play, it would have been a different scenario with the ball swinging. So I think it would have tested our middle order and maybe we could have lost as well. I think Carey had no business going for that catch. He was nowhere close to it, and he was not going to reach it anyways. So him going for that catch actually distracted Mitchell Marsh, and that's where I think Mitchell Marsh lost a little bit of concentration and dropped that catch. And in the end, it didn't even touch his hand. That was the surprise actually. It was like
Yeah,
it hit his body and just fell down. He was not even seeing the ball properly. So that he was so much distracted by Carey that he was not even watching the ball properly. And coming to our bowling, I think the way after the first wicket, the way the Australians were going in, the Warner and Smith, right? It looked like they were on target for 270 to 280. But our spinners, I think that Ashwin's spell was also critical. He took only 1 wicket, but he controlled the flow of runs in the middle and allowed the others to take wickets. They were going after Kuldeep Yadav mainly because at the other end, Jadeja and Ashwin were actually controlling, and that is why he got the wickets. And Jadeja's wicket of Smith, that was the turning point for him. Because the way Smith was batting, he was looking to consolidate along with Labuschagne there, and that ball was an absolute pitch. And had Smith played it somehow and he would have carried on till the 50 overs, Australia would have easily reached 260 to 70, 270, which would have been which easily would have been a winning target. So I think that was the turning point of the match, Jadeja's wicket of Smith.
the only man in yellow today. You look to be disappointed, Anil. I'm guessing. I'm guessing Australians didn't really give a good fight. I was disappointed with the way they did not get many runs, and they could have pushed India a bit further. But obviously, great start for Indians. Do you think there was some due because the Indian spinners got much more purchase than the Australians? The Seamers did the job, almost got 4 wickets, but a part-time spinner in Maxwell could potentially just restrict. But there wasn't much for Adam Zampa. He was dealt with very efficiently by KL Rahul. So where do you think they could have done better apart from batting?
I think Adam Zampa didn't really bowl well. Like the line and length wasn't really perfect. And what also happened was 2 fours from KL Rahul in the first over. There was just a small margin of error on the shots he played, but he was so confident in his shots, and that put Zampa in some kind of discomfort. So that happened, and Glenn Maxwell. I mean, he wasn't really a threat. I mean, he was going economical, which was just a strategy from Kohli and Rahul. Is like, okay, we're not going to take any risk. against this bowler, and then Zampa wasn't really bowling that well. Maybe for a fact that it was definitely there was a lot of dew. We didn't expect so much dew actually, so that was the case, and maybe that he blindfolded hit his face against a swimming pool wall. I don't know if that had any effect, but yeah, that happened. Um, but yeah, Zampa didn't bowl well, so they didn't really have any support. Like Vishak mentioned, so Warner got out to a nice delivery against Kuldeep Yadav. He wanted to play inside out, and then he got caught and bowled. So he wasn't sure what really happened, and then Smith got, I think, one of the best delivery, could be the best delivery in the World Cup. So that happened. So such kind of performance between two spinners, two spinning department was the main factor, and they didn't have anyone. I don't know what they're gonna do now. Because I don't know if they have another spinner in their squad, right? Instead of Ashton Agar, they brought in Labuschagne for some reason. I read a post which says that Nathan Lyon has put up his hand saying he would be ready to join when Ashton Agar injury happened. I think that would have been fair. That would have been nice. But yeah, the main one of the main difference was the spinning department. The Indian bowling, if you look how Warner and Smith were going, they were kind of dispatching the bad balls for four. But other than that, they were not like scoring freely. They were still scoring at a 4 runs and over. Their scoring rate was not like at 5 or something. So the scoring rate was still in control, and when the spinners came in, they kind of chipped in with the wickets, and that kind of put pressure, and then Australia got bundled out for under 200.
Yeah, I think it was a great bowling performance, and I think Nathan Lyon's been speaking to Ashwin the way he only played 4 games in the last few years, and then straight away into the squad. Question for you, Revati. I know it's very very early days, and it's difficult
Sorry.
for us to be some of the Indian fans. Ajay asking whether we could have done better with the run rate. Maybe that's why KL Rahul was disappointed. He could have hit a 4 and a 6 and better the run rate apart from his 100. But do you think India's got in it to go all the way, Revati?
Yeah, 100%. I think today's match actually proved that we've got a long way to go. Uh, because the level of pressure that we were playing, it's just not our batters who did a fine job. We have to give it to our bowlers, our spinners, that they actually restricted a very strong team like Australia to 199 runs. And we also, the one thing we have to note is the slip catch by Virat Kohli. I was literally in front of the TV and I was jumping like a crazy person. I'm like, oh, that was a great catch because it was so unexpected. So I think it's just not the batters. When we see India as a team, we've come a long way. We are an all-round team. Our bowling team is doing. We've got some really great fielding, and also we've got a great batting lineup. So I think we've got a great chance in this World Cup to win the.
A word on Ishan Kishan and Shreyas Iyer, Adi. Obviously, you were in the ground. There was the tension just by watching. It was so palpable because you get Ishan Kishan first over, then Rohit gets a good nut. I think he got a good delivery. Then Shreyas Iyer going for that shot. A bit unnecessary.
Very
Considering they were
my
so
opinion.
well. Sorry, go on, Ravi.
Sorry, I thought that question was for me. Sorry, I didn't want.
No, so
Sorry.
like literally me and my friend, we were sitting and we were discussing how Ishan Kishan will get out, like because after we saw Stark tailing the ball in to Rohit, it's like the ball is tailing in, it's swinging, Stark bowls well. So I said Ishan Kishan will drag it onto his stumps. My friend said second slip catch out over. So literally the first ball it went, because both were like Stark will not ball on the stumps. Stark will ball slightly outside off, like 3-4 stumps off. So Kishan will try to go for it. I was like, okay, inside edge. My friend is like, okay, second slip. First slip mein gaya. Then you're like, okay, fine, that's all right. Rohit, as soon as he was given LBW, straight away he said review. So I was like, okay, maybe inside edge, and we were like, okay, fine. Like if you're reviewing that confidently, most likely it should be an inside edge. But the ball was good, so you can't necessarily blame Rohit for that shot. And Empire's called tough luck, right? So Empire, if he had given not out, Rohit would have been there. Different story. Then Shreyas Iyer, no words, right? Like you're 2 for 2. You're coming in at that point. Boss, target is 200, not 350 or 400. Play out 5 overs, play out 10 overs, play out 6 overs. No one cares, and you hit such an irresponsible shot. Like no words, right? Like he deserves to be dropped just for that shot. Like ideally, if I was in Dravid's place, what I would do is I'd put Rahul at 4. He's good enough for that. He's done. KL Rahul has done well at 4 in the chances he's gotten as well. Get Surya Kumar at 5. You need an enforcer before for the end overs. If wickets fall early, send Jadeja or Hardik before Surya, because Surya hanging around for 25-30 overs is like a risk. And then just hoping Shubman Gill gets better soon, because we have no other option. We have to play. We have to pay. We have to play Ishan Kishan instead of Shubman Gill. So yeah. So as soon as Shubman Gill gets fit, Ishan Kishan's out. So that's
Just to add about those two dismissals, I think they should realize, or they should get a stick on their knuckle, that 50 over format is not exactly what your T20 format is. The pitch does matter. I mean, they haven't even spent even a single over to understand how the pitch behave. Kohli is an experienced player. Rahul also, because he was the keeper, so he could see how the ball is coming. So I would have at least hoped if, I mean, Shreyas Iyer is a flamboyant shot maker, player. So I'm okay if he goes aggressive in the second or third over, but at least stay there for first over, see how the ball is coming, and make your shots. And you're already in trouble at 2 for 2. The target wasn't big, but at least stay some. I mean, spend some time on the pitch. So that was really required. And I think Shubham Gill or the Mosquito Ishan Kishan should thank you, the Mosquito, so because Shubham Gill got dengue and he got a chance. Otherwise, there's no way after playing such a shot he should be part of the squad. Yeah.
Difficult. Vishak,
And then Rohit Sharma, I think that ball was really nice, that the way that came in. And if it would have been another umpire, he would have judged it saying that it's hitting, the impact is outside the stump, and he would have given it not out, and it would have been an umpire's call then. So it was two-way. But yeah, that was a really nice ball from Hazelwood.
that reminded me of the semi-final against New Zealand as well. So many similarities. We had 5 for 3 at one stage. Everyone just clocking back in the last two World Cup games. India has been 5 for 3. The openers have scored 6 runs combined.
So it's a nice, like, we haven't forgotten 2019. We haven't come across. Just restarting it. We're going to start at 5 for 3, and okay, we have managed to chase this one. So we have not ended our campaign. I mean, you don't know, Tony may come back from retirement and can join the squad.
I know. Anything less than a win at this tournament is not going to help, I think. The semi-final berth is everyone's what expecting. I know.
So the four teams that India would have been careful enough were Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and England, because the kind of shot making the kind of players they have. So Australia is tick marked. So if India managed to win 2 out of the next 3 matches against this team, I don't see why they shouldn't be qualifying for semi-final.
I agree. Vishak, word on the pitch. It's a proper Chennai turning pitch. Reminded me of day one of a test match against England, second test match a couple of years ago. It was gripping a lot for Jadeja. Australia's decision to bat first probably backfired, because it did feel like maybe there was a little bit of dew, or I'm just reading too much.
No, I don't think so. I think it showed the difference of the quality of the spinners across the two sides. I think our spinners were far better. They knew how to utilize those conditions and bowled in the right areas rather than the. See, Maxwell was not getting any purchase of the pitch. He bowled tight lines, but Maxwell's line and length were horrible today. So that is why he got smacked. He started off bowling short balls or either half volleys, and he was most of the times he was cut by KL Rahul's pair of the wicket. So I think the line and lengths were not right. You have to bowl at the right lengths to get the purchase from that pitch, and there was enough bones also. If you see, Ashwin was getting nice bones from that pitch when he bowled it on the good length. So I think it is just the quality of the spinners that mattered here, and I think I don't think it was that bad pitch of 199 as well. If they had batted a little sensibly, I think they could have even got to around 240, 250, which could have been a match-winning score. So I think some of the shots, I think some of them got out of good balls, but some of them were also like bad shots. So it was a contribution of it was a mixture of both in the Australian batting. So I think I don't think it was such a bad pitch, but you expect such kind of pitches in Chennai, but still 199. It was not a 199 pitch according to me. And
No.
you can see the way Indians batted as well in the second innings, right? It is like, yeah, I think the main thing I would say is that the Australians, they were either going for boundaries or dots. They did not rotate the strike at all. That is where I think they made a big mistake. But see the partnership of KL Rahul and Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli hit just 4 or 5 boundaries in his innings, and most of his innings he was rotating the strike. So that is what mattered in that partnership. That is what Australia lacked. They didn't rotate enough. So if they had done the rotation of strike in the middle overs, they would have gotten a better position, got 4 to 5 runs an over. Instead, they were playing 1 or 2 runs an over most of the times in the middle overs to the spinners. That was the difference between the two sides, according to me.
To add on to that, Kohli was running for twos. I mean, Rahul wasn't supportive. In that humid temperature, he was running at 30 kilometers. I saw that video on Hotstar. I mean, this guy is still running so fast, and trying to make ones into twos and all. And I was feeling, huffing, okay, you know what, stop. It's really humid. Like, conserve your energy and all. So that was the main difference. And then you could see Warner, once he got out, he went back to the pavilion. He was all with the towels, and it was really hot for him. So that was another thing. I mean, if you look at how Australian bowls, it may come across saying that okay, they were not really interested, or they kind of already gave up. But I think it was more because of how humid it was. And how hot it was, so it looks like they were like giving up kind of thing. But it's just that it was a difficult day for them.
Revati, a quick word on Virat Kohli. The number of times he's bailed us out from so many difficult situations, I worry if he at all is injured or not playing, what will happen when we're chasing?
Sorry, I missed the question.
Virat Kohli, a word on him. The amount of times he's bailed India out of trouble while chasing, it's unbelievable. What will we do without him?
Oh yeah. What will we do with him? I don't want to imagine that situation, coming into that situation, especially till the end of this World Cup. Because in the past 1 year, Virat Kohli has actually made a fine comeback because he had a really bad 3 years in the past. So I think right now, the way he's been playing, the maturity he's shown in his game, or he's grown as a player, I think that's helped him a lot with the game, and I think that is what is going to make him or the team win the World Cup, or take India to the finals. I hope that we see him continue playing, not just bailing us out, because it is really hard for us to rely on just one person, or having that feeling that okay, Virat Kohli is there to save the day. Because if the score would have been high, if it would have been 270 or 300, it would have gotten really difficult for KL Rahul or Virat Kohli. Because if either of them, if we would have lost either of them, then Hardik Pandya or anyone coming after that, I don't think we would have been able to take this match to that level. So I think it's just not, the ownership shouldn't be just on Virat Kohli to play. It should be on all the players. I think all of them should take responsibility.
And they'll get a chance to take responsibility in 2-3 days time. We're getting a potential banana skin Adi in Delhi. What, 500? South Africa got 428 yesterday.
Yeah.
India, Afghanistan. Adi, what are you expecting?
You meant to say mangoes, Sanjay?
Yeah. Mangoes. Is he playing? I'm sure he's playing.
There can be
Yeah.
or there can be other fruits also, but I think Sri Lanka's bowling was pretty bad. Like the last 20 overs, I think they conceded like 250 runs or something in the last 20 overs. 230 or 250 runs. It's crazy, right? So, and to give them credit.
I think I feel they lost by 100 runs or so, because I thought 428 was high score, and the way New Zealand bowlers were bowling, I didn't think Sri Lanka would make to the 300 mark. For my
Yeah, yeah, they batted well. They batted well,
yeah,
but I
did bat.
think that was an aberration. 428 and all. Pitch might be a bit helpful to spinners there, and you never know if Afghanistan bats first and scores 200, we maybe chase it down in like 30 overs or something. Today we were discussing at the break like, oh, maybe net run rate boost milega, like, oh, 200. Now if you look at it in the points table, India is number 5. All the other matches were bigger wins for the winning team. This was technically the closest of the all 5 matches so far. Mm.
Yeah.
So no net run race boost there, but all good. It's like top or one of the top 5 or top 3 oppositions, I should say, Australia. And I think Anil had a question, right? So it was very hot. There's a lot of humidity. The food was actually good. I found like good veg biryani and I ate. So can't complain about the hospitality and food, right? And the other question, I think Ajay also had another question about what was it?
How did KL got man of the match?
What matters is who stays not out at the end, is what I would say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Who stays
No,
not out at the end, they get the man of the match. They,
I
they
think he
did
did
the,
a pretty decent job behind the stumps also. I think that catch of Labushan wasn't easy. Uh,
yes, yes.
so yeah,
He
so
was
that
decent.
that kind
He
of
wasn't
yeah
amazing. Like I was very closely watching his movement and all.
yeah
He
yeah. I
wasn't
mean,
amazing, but he was good. Like he was good.
yeah.
Like fine. Like did the job. And also today the Kohli's catch drop and Kohli was also fishing for balls outside off stump, 7th stump,
Yeah.
8th stump. He got lucky that he didn't get out. But KL Rahul, after watching him for like 2 3 deliveries only, you knew that he was like, okay, he's confident, he's set today. He never felt like there were. I don't remember any plays or misses by KL Rahul. Like he left the balls or he defended. So he was, he was in the zone today. Thankfully, that worked out because had Mitch Marsh decided not to drop or caught that ball, India would have been in a lot more trouble. And yeah, Hardik and Jadeja, Ashwin, you never know, right? So yeah, all good.
You
yeah.
know, this brings me. So I was traveling and I saw the match on Hotstar on my phone, and they have this max view option. It's a pretty decent, pretty nice one where you could see the pitch, the stroke making very closely. And what Aditya mentioned about KL Rahul stroke making, it was all straight bat, all straight shots and playing with a straight bat. And so yeah, so we were confident. Okay, the way KL Rahul is playing, I think we can still achieve this target, even if that Kohli would have got out by playing on a ball that's coming on 8th or 9th stump. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Before we
Just to add
close
about
things
the
up,
KL Rahul thing, at two
yeah,
for
go
three,
on.
if you wanted somebody to come in and support Kohli at that point of time, you would have thought about KL
Yeah.
Rahul only because he has the
Yeah.
experience of opening in test matches in such scenarios where the balls does a lot. He's got 100 in Lords on a green pitch as well. So he was one ideal person at that point of time. So he knew how to pace his innings at that point of time, how to negotiate the new ball. So I think he was one ideal person whom we would have thought rather than a Pandya or a Jadeja at that point of time. So I think we had the right person for the job at that point of time, and even in the presentation, Rahul spoke about it. They were just concentrating on playing this match like a good test match for around 10 overs, and then take it along like how things goes. I think that was a very good idea because I think that was something which Shreyas Iyer should have done as well because I somehow excuse Ishan Kishan because it was first ball. Maybe he was trying to. It was the first wicket. That is, but two for two. Shreyas Iyer, that was a nonsense shot. So,
All's well. All's well that ends well. It was a near on perfect performance by India. Bowlers doing well. Jadeja coming back into the form. Kohli doing what Kohli does. KL Rahul getting runs, shutting all his critics after the Asia Cup and this performance. So hopefully India will kick on and win quite a few games, make it easily to the semi-finals well before they complete their 9 matches. And then it should be hopefully an easy semi-final win and go on to win the final on the 19th of November. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Thank you, Revati, Vishak, Anil, and Aditya. And thanks to all our viewers who've engaged with us. And hopefully, we can do more of previews, reviews, especially for the India games. We've been struggling to get resources. it's difficult to difficult to try and coordinate with different time zones, etc. But fingers crossed, considering most of the India matches are on weekends, we'll try and bring more cricket stuff for you. Until next time, if you haven't subscribed to our channel already, please do subscribe, press that like button, share with our friends, family, whoever, and we'll see you the next time. Bye bye. Bye bye.
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 Bye bye.